here at 6:30. Holy smokes, how did that happen? All right. Good evening, everyone. I would like to call to order the October 24th, 2024 regular meeting of the Park Board of Commissioners. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Monica, can we please have the roll call?
President Gibson?
Here.
Vice President Ruffing?
Here.
Commissioner Ansier? Absent. Commissioner Jacks?
Here.
Commissioner Janner?
Here.
Commissioner Risvold? Absent. Commissioner Thompson?
Here.
President Gibson, I've been informed that Commissioner Risvold has requested to participate remotely due to business purposes.
Thank you.
Move to allow remote meeting participation of Commissioner Risvold per Section 7 of the Open Meetings Act.
Second. Can we have a roll call, please?
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
President Gibson?
Yes. Commissioner Risvold, can you hear us?
I can, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. All right, Monica, do we have any matters from the public?
We do. We have resident Quincy and Eleanor.
Awesome. Thanks. Do you want to come up?
Thank you for letting us speak today. Hello, I'm Quincy Reagan, and I have loved wildlife for as long as I can remember. I'm here to talk to you about our local wildlife safety. But before I begin, I would like to introduce my friend Eleanor Newcomb, who this wouldn't be possible without.
Hello, I'm Eleanor. I have loved wildlife for quite some time as well, but not as long as Quincy. We would like to raise awareness for our local wildlife. As you know, no animal should live a life dependent on humans. Wildlife should be fully independent and left alone.
That is why we would like to suggest putting up signs in the local park district parks that do not have them. And the signs could include what local wildlife may be seen. As you might know, if a duck consumes bread, it will kill them, and here's why.
When a duck consumes bread, it will go into their stomach, and when they go underwater to get food, the water goes into their stomach, and the bread swells up, goes to their throat, and chokes them to death.
Thank you for listening, and we thank you for your time, and we hope you take our ideas into consideration. We would do anything for our feathered and furry friends. Thank you.
Thank you both for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. It's a really important message you shared with us, and we will talk with staff and see what we can do about adding some more signage. So thank you. It's really important to be involved, and I appreciate you coming up here. Thank you. All right. Monica, are there any other matters from the public?
There are not.
All right. That's wonderful. We will move on then to the treasurer's report.
Move to approve the August 2024 Treasurer's Report.
Second. Roll call, please.
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Risvold?
Yes.
President Gibson?
Yes. All right, on to the consent agenda. Monica, would you please read it?
Item 4.1, approve September 2024 disbursements in the amount of $2,794,326.18. 4.2, approve September 2024 disbursements made through the Bank of America Purchasing Card Program in the amount of $314,403.44. 4.3, approve September 2024 FinTech disbursements in the amount of $10,366.64. 4.4, approve September 2024 customer refunds in the amount of $1,989.74. 4.5, approve September 26, 2024 regular meeting minutes. 4.6, approve renewal of the recycling dumpster services contracts for 2025 with Grew Industries, Inc. at an estimated value of $61,607.21. 4.7, approve the soccer trainer services agreement with Soccer Success, Inc., Corver coaching licensee for Illinois. 4.8, approve the designations of Brad Wilson as delegate, Leslie Ruffing as first alternate, and Katie Seppi as second alternate for the 2025 Illinois Association of Park Districts IAPD annual business meeting. 4.9, approve the Humana Health Plan, Inc. dental PPO plan as the dental insurance plan offering for the 2025 and 2026 coverage year. 4.10, approve the purchase of CommScope Ruckus network equipment from Smart Wave Technologies in the amount of $196,282. 4.11, move to ratify and approve Nunk-Pro-Tunk the action of the executive director in awarding the contract with Water Well Solutions, LLC in the amount of $98,800.60 for repairs to the Naperville irrigation pond recharge well, and authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the repair project in an amount not to exceed $103,740.63. 4.12, approve to ratify and approve Nunk-Pro-Tunk the action of the executive director in awarding the contract for HVAC work for the Studio One building improvements project to Carrier Corporation in the amount of $31,100, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $32,655. 4.13, move to ratify and approve Nunk-Pro-Tunk the action of the executive director in awarding the contract for remediation work for the Studio One building improvements project to JMS Environmental Associates Limited in the amount of $75,350, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $79,118. 4.14, move to find that the contract for general carpentry work for the Studio One building, due to exigencies of time and other circumstances, is not adapted to competitive bidding, and to ratify and approve Nunk-Pro-Tunk the action of the executive director in awarding the contract for general carpentry work for the Studio One building improvements project to Lamp Incorporated in the lump sum not to exceed amount of $177,087. 4.15, approve ordinance 1062 declaring the property as outlined in Exhibit A as surplus property. 10.16, approve ordinance 1063 authorizing a grant of temporary construction easement between the Naperville Park District and the County of DuPage for the intergovernmental cooperation and utilization of available resources for the West Branch of the DuPage River Shoreline Stabilization Partnership Project. 4.17, approve ordinance 1064 amending the board policies and bylaws as presented, effective October 24th, 2024. That is all.
Thanks, Monica. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately? Hearing none.
Move to accept consent agenda items 4.1 through 4.17.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Risvold?
Yes.
President Gibson?
Yes.
Move to approve consent agenda items 4.1 through 4.17.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. We have no unfinished business, so we'll move on to new business and discussions. We'll start with 2025 regular meeting schedule.
Hi, that's me. Again, good evening. At our next scheduled meeting in November, I will be seeking the board's consideration for the 2025 regular board meeting schedule. We will meet the second and fourth Thursday of every month, with the exception of January, November, and December. In January, we will meet on the second and fifth Thursday to accommodate staff and board members attending the IPRA conference. And then in November and December, we will only meet on the second Thursday of the month due to the holidays. And that is it. Any questions?
Sounds good. Any
Do you mean the first Thursday of the month?
It was first last year.
With Thanksgiving being the second?
Thursday?
For November and December?
For November, do you mean that we'll meet in the first Thursday of the month, not the second, not the fourth Thursday? Or the second? Maybe I misunderstood.
Sorry.
For January or?
For November.
For November, it is the second Thursday of the month.
Yeah.
So it's the first meeting
Thank
of
you.
the month for the board, but on the second Thursday.
Got it, thank you.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Cool. All right. And sounds good. And I will just note that I know this year staff was really proactive looking ahead at March and spring break, and that staff looked ahead at that, and we should be
Yes.
fine for spring break. So thank you for considering that and being
Mhm.
proactive. So, sounds good to me. All right, we'll move on to 2025 T-shirt bid.
Good evening. In December, we will begin the process of soliciting vendors for our annual T-shirt bid. We do not expect many changes to the bid from last year. It will include program T-shirts, league jerseys, hats, and staff uniforms. The bid will be sent to approximately 60 vendors and advertised in the paper and on our website. Staff will evaluate each bid that is received and present a recommendation to the board in January. Any questions?
Sounds great. Thanks. 2025 independent contractor agreements.
That would be me again. All right, every year we have independent contractors who provide program instruction for the district. Occasionally, these contractors have higher participation levels, which could generate payments that exceed $30,000, requiring board approval. In November, I will bring 4 of these agreements to you for consideration. These agreements include All-Star Sports and Kids First for our youth instruction, sports instruction, Illinois Shotokan Karate Club for our martial arts instruction, and Naperville Aquatics for our indoor swim lesson instruction. Any questions?
No, sounds good. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next up is new computer maintenance management system software purchase. Is that you?
Yeah,
All right.
a little bit more exciting than dumpsters and garbage. And this is one that we, and many of my peers have been involved in, we are really excited about. So earlier this summer, we began the process of looking into an upgraded computerized maintenance management system, or CMMS, and we released a request for proposal, or RFP. We've been with our current system for about 20 years, and during the last couple of years, we've kind of started to really notice a decline in service. Several of the functions that we really depend on have been malfunctioning, and we've been spending a lot of time trying to solve things on our own and not getting much support from our provider anymore. So it kind of pushed us to start looking and seeing what else was out there. So on the plus side, the RFP garnered considerable interest. We had 40 different vendors reach out and request our RFP. And we had 17 different companies submit proposals. We had a smaller group vet those first 17, so staff from Parks and Planning and a couple of different divisions went through those 17 and brought down to our top 4 choices. From those proposals, we had a group of 15 staff members from various departments sit together and go through demonstrations. Each one was pretty comprehensive, about 3 hours each. The top 4 choices we had, we went through a rating system, and then we had each of those 15 staff members that went through the final evaluation team sit together and come up with our final top choice. So at the October 24th, tonight, I just wanted to give you a little bit of the overview of our process, and then share that our group of 15 had a unanimous recommendation, actually, to award our contract to OpenGov. The OpenGov proposal stood out for its exceptionally detailed solutions, and they did address each of our operational and technical requirements. We were pretty specific on what we were looking for in our RFP, and they had paragraphs addressing how they would meet each of our requests. One of the things that was really important to staff was our current system worked okay for our administrative team, but we really wanted to make sure that the boots on the ground found the system to be really simple to use, and we needed the buy-in from them. Essentially, they will be collecting a lot of the data out in the field that we will use to analyze and then help us make some of those data-driven decisions moving forward. Staff spoke with a number of organizations, including the Fox Valley Park District. So reaching out to a neighbor who's about similar size was really important to us, and making sure we got a positive recommendation from them. All of the different agencies that we spoke with all spoke favorably of OpenGov, and they are built to work with municipal agencies, so that was another important factor when we were making our overall decision here. So funds have been allocated within the proposed 2025 budget to accommodate the annual and a one-time implementation fee that are associated with this project, and we're really excited to move forward.
Are there any questions?
So how do we pay? Do we pay once annually for the organization, or is it based on number of seats or licenses? Or
Yeah, so those were important questions for us. We do have an unlimited number of users that are built into our contract. So we're seeking a 3-year contract with then 2 additional option years to lock in that pricing. So we will know exactly what we're paying for the next 3 to 5 years if we do renew for those extra 2.
And then which other agencies around us use this system?
Yeah, so OpenGov actually bought a number of smaller different companies. They were kind of a why reinvent the wheel if somebody does it really well. Let's bring them on. And so from the maintenance management side, we spoke with Lake Forest recently, Schaumburg, obviously Fox Valley, Hoffman Estates. And then as we were researching, there are a number of other local agencies that use their financial modules as well, something that we're not branching out to as of yet, but we did send a couple of emails just, even though that's not the module we're looking to utilize, Wheaton was one. Have you been happy with their quality of service and then their response time when you have issues? And we've gotten positive reviews with those as well.
And then what's the estimated cost annually for this system versus what we've been using in the past?
So right now, we're about $26,000 a year for TMA. This one will go up to about $46,000. In addition to parks and trades and custodial who mostly use the system right now, we're looking to bring on golf, so that would increase the number of users in the system. We also believe that, and certainly not going to push it on anybody else, but working with like Director Mertis on the IT side, there might be some applications. We think the planning department might have some use with that down the line. So in addition to the, we've actually increased in the number of parks and trades and custodial users in addition to bringing these other departments on. And then I could probably speak to you for a half an hour about all the additional features we're going to get for the added funds or the added fees.
Good. Sounds like you did a really thorough assessment. So
we did. Like I said, we were really excited about it, and we knew that for something this large, we really needed to put our time in and get it right.
Good.
I think you and I were in the same group during the strategic plan, and this also helps us meet one of our strategic plan goals, right, of kind of across the board. So that's wonderful to hear. A question. This is entirely staff-facing, right? The public doesn't interact with this system at all? There
could be some tools down the line. Well, our 311 system, for example. Yes,
what I was gonna follow up with.
They've got their own module that we would look to incorporate as part of this package.
That could integrate it? Okay.
Yeah, and what actually is really nice is the current system we use as well as the 311 system are completely independent. So this will be all under one umbrella, tie in, create a bunch of efficiencies, cool, and allow us to really analyze that data as it comes in.
I remember that being part of our strategic plan discussion as well. So do we pay for the 311 system now?
Yes, it's a separate fee.
We might be able to offload that fee
so there will
as
be a
well?
little bit of that offset in cost.
Okay. Interesting. Well, that sounds great. And I can't believe the number of RFP responses we got. So it sounds like a lot of work went into
It's
finding
the
right
future,
vendor.
yeah, but, you know, like I said, we're really excited to kind of take that leap forward.
Awesome. And I assume it'll lead to efficiencies and,
Yeah, and like I said, that we could talk about for a half an hour. But you know, recently we've worked on getting the mobile technology in staff's hands, so like the things that they'll be able to do out in the field now instead of having to bring back to the shop, or, you know, check an email and then the automation process where this has been completed, you mark it, and then all of a sudden the next work order already generates and gets you going. I mean,
cool.
there's some pretty cool featers here.
so you're just a little excited about it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's awesome.
it's our world.
No, that's great. Okay. Well, thank you. Any other questions? Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is, I lost my place, 2025 Annual Parks Golf Tree Trimming.
So not as exciting. But our annual parks and golf tree trimming and tree removal project was published for the public in September with responses due in October. Tasks for the RFP include overstory tree pruning, tree and trunk removal, chipping, site clearing, and mulching. We received 4 proposals overall. Staff anticipate recommending that the contract be awarded to Groundskeeper Landscape LLC at the meeting in November. Groundskeeper most recently held that contract in 2023. And should that contract be approved, we expect work to begin as early as that first week in January, and it has to be completed by the end of December. And then we did allocate funds in the proposed 2025 combined golf and parks budgets to accommodate the contract.
Sounds great. Any questions on tree trimming? Nope. All right. Contract mowing.
So also at that November meeting, staff plan on presenting for approval 2 mowing service contracts for 2025. Contract number 1 is to pick up the first of 2 renewal options with Mark 1 Landscape. Earlier this year, Mark 1 is awarded the 2024 contract after the project went to bid in the prior month. Terms of the renewal do include a 20-cent per acre fee increase, which was included in their original bid and accounted for in the 2025 budget. They've proven to be a dependable partner this year, and we're happy with their service overall and look forward to working with them again in 2025. The second mowing services contract to be submitted was with Havenshine Technologies, who we've partnered with on their autonomous mowing solutions for the past several years. While we continue to monitor the development and rollout of their technology, they have proven to be a really great service contractor. And on top of the valuable services they provide, carrying on with them allows the district to stay abreast of their developments and work with them on creating solutions for the park setting. Due to some of their recent efficiencies in their technology, they've actually offered to decrease their price per acre by $2. And that would decrease their yearly fees by almost $2,500 as compared to this year. Just as before, the funds have been allocated in the proposed 2025 operations budgets for the North, Central, and South divisions to account for those services.
Are they entirely autonomous lawnmowers, or do they also have?
That's what they've been focusing on.
Okay.
Is, yeah.
Very cool. Any other questions on mowing? Nope. Good.
One more.
Thank you. All right. Vehicle equipment purchase.
So also at the meeting in November, staff intend to present for approval the purchase of 2 Ford trucks and 2 John Deere tractors. The trucks, an F-150 pickup and an F-250 dump truck, would be purchased utilizing contracts awarded via cooperative purchasing networks to Curry Motors and Sutton Ford respectively. The F-150 pickup was listed in the 2024 Fleet Vehicle and Equipment Replacement Plan and had a cancelable order placed earlier this summer. The F-250 dump truck was scheduled to be replaced next year. However, it experienced an unexpected engine failure, and due to its age and the expected replacement next year, it was deemed not worthy of repair costs. As this purchase would be moved up a year earlier than originally anticipated, a different truck scheduled for this year would then be pushed to 2025. The new dump truck has immediate availability and would be purchased immediately after board approval. Funds remain available in the budget for the purchase of both units. So, you may also recall that the board approved the purchase of a Park Police Interceptor in September. The Interceptor and the Ford F-150 pickup truck I just mentioned Both had cancelable orders, and we placed orders for both in July. We're still waiting for updates on the build and delivery dates for both of those units, and are hoping to take delivery before the end of the year, and that would ensure that the purchases are accounted for in the 2024 budget. So any 2024 orders that are delivered in 2025 would actually count against the 2025 budget, potentially putting us under budget in 2024 and over budget in 2025. So to counter that issue, we reached out to a couple of our vendors, and we've got some good contacts with the local John Deere dealership. Staff identified 2 John Deere tractors that were both part of the 2025 fleet vehicle and equipment replacement plan, and they're available for immediate delivery. So HW, the dealership that we work with, expressed a willingness to supply the tractors to us either in December or January, and giving us that flexibility to pivot to the purchase of the tractors in the event the trucks don't arrive in December, or as we know that they are part of that 2025 purchase plan, we could just wait and buy them in January if needed. So just a little bit of a plan B, so to speak, in case that those trucks don't arrive. But just getting them approved a little bit early. Both of those tractors were part of the 2025 plan, as I mentioned. And so, we're just, like I said, wanted to present that before the board tonight to give us a little bit of flexibility depending on when those trucks might arrive.
Gotcha. All right. Are there any questions on that plan? No? All right. Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Then the next regular meeting of the Park Board of Commissioners will be November 14th, 2024 at 7 p.m. here at Fort Hill Activity Center.
Move to adjourn the October 24th, 2024 regular meeting.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, Commissioner Risvold. Good night.
Thanks. Have a great night, everybody.
All right. Thank you, everyone.